Okay, I think we're live. There we go. Okay, it's Friday again, folks. It's time to have some fun Friday afternoon, and boy, this light is really bright. Let me. I really gotta keep changing things here a little bit. There we go. Oh, that's a little too dark there. I'll leave it there. But yeah, so glad to be here. Friday afternoon, 2:30. 2:30 Rain, 2:30 Todd here. My name is Todd Rains, so I'm glad you could be here with me. We do these every week at 2:30 on Friday. That's Central Time, so whatever your time is, let us know. Like, actually, you could put in the comments where you're where you're from. That would be interesting to see. So. See, Todd. Hey, Todd. Hey, Tony. Good to see you here again. Thanks for joining. Let me. Yeah, that's fine. We'll leave that up. And Ken is here. Ken Kwasnick is from Montana area. Tony's from South Texas. So good to have you guys here. And so let's see. Just a quick introduction. So we are doing all things wood turning. It's kind of my live stream title and tag, but this series for the next 7 more weeks now is going to be on small projects. So just little simple things we can turn while we're chatting, and we'll see what we come up with today. So, Mary Alice, good to have you here. Thanks for joining. Appreciate it. I see you on Cindy's demos all the time, and thanks for being a customer as well. I think Mary Alice, you're out in California, if I'm not mistaken. So. We're covering the country here, so thanks for being here. Let me put my head back up. Small project series. Last week we turned a honey dipper, and this is the one that's in focus. It's kind of a back there. There's a better background for it. So this honey dipper turned last week, and I've got to turn another one. I want to change the design of this a little bit, but that was fun. I hope you guys had fun watching that one. So what are we going to do today? Well, we're going to do kind of a couple of things if we got time. We are going to turn spindles again, but I've got a couple of these kits for pounding chicken and meat tenderizer sort of thing. My wife wanted one or needs one. We've been pounding. She's been using my workshop mallet for doing that, and that's it's over hanging over in the corner there. So I leave it close to the kitchen so she can reach it. But we had a club demo, the Dallas area club in September. Mary Alice says yes, Central California. Yeah, that's what I thought. Good to have you, Mary Alice. Thank you. The September demo for our club was Lauren and Alan Zenreich, and they did pendants. Alan turns, and then Lauren does all the decoration with ink pens and stuff like that. So it turned me on to the joiner jig that they used, and so I went to Ruth's site, Niles Bottle Stoppers, and picked up a kit, and I bought one of these, and she sent one for free for me. So that was really nice of her. So we're going to turn a handle. Well, let me explain why we're doing this again. We've already got 2 handles, but yeah, that's a good comment, Tony. Oh, Cindy is on. Hey, Cindy. So if we get time, we'll do Cindy's suggestion last week was bottle stoppers. If we get time, we'll do one. So Tony says, cool. I've been looking at those kit thinking about getting some. Yeah, so these are actually kind of handy. The meat tenderizer has this, sort of grid, very sharp actually, and the chicken pounder is just flat. And they got a coffee tamper as well. I don't drink coffee, so I didn't make one of those. But what we're going to do is we're going to make this handle is a little bit too skinny for Shelly. I made it a little bit shorter. I thought that might be good, but she actually likes this larger size handle. So we'll make one, and we've put a little offset on the top, so kind of a thumb handle sort of thing. So that's what we're going to do. So I got a little chunk of mesquite and stuff, and I got this other piece of wood Maybe Cindy might know, because Cindy knows. What's his name? Linda and Roger Howard from the symposium. Let me go to overhead here for a second. So I've got a piece of, get that off there. Oh, hi, Stephen's here. Thanks for joining, Stephen. Appreciate it. So I've got a piece of mesquite here that we'll maybe turn a second handle with. I've got this other wood from Roger Howard when I was at the Rocky Mountain Symposium, and I don't know what it is. It's very blonde. It looks like this with the bark cut off. Very blonde wood. It could be a maple, but it's just weird looking to me. I have no idea. But it's a cool wood, so I got some of that. But we're going to turn this mesquite today. But I've already prepped the blank, so I didn't want to, have to throw the face shield on and take the bark and do a tenon. So we'll just skip all that part and go to this part. So I don't know if I turned one of these or a couple of these, a few, I guess, on the weekend, and I don't know if I'm, following a procedure. I just kind of figured it out. So we'll just go from there. So I had them between point centers and turned a tenon on each end. I didn't know which end I wanted. I've got a small crack in this end, so I'll probably end up using that at the top and this at the base. So we'll load that up, and we're going to do it on a chuck first, get some preliminary shaping done, drill the hole, and we'll mount it this way because we're going to drill the hole at this end, and then we'll mount it on the mandrel, the bottle stopper mandrel, and finish the offset turning. So see how that goes. So let me show you, maybe box elder, maybe. I don't know what the bark on box elder looks like, Tony, so I couldn't tell you. But I had a big stick of it, well, can't see, but about a 3 or 4 foot stick. And so I cut it all up today, and we'll turn some other stuff with it as well. I got some bottle stopper blanks ready to go as well. So if we get time, we'll do a bottle stopper as well. Oh, James is back on. Good to see you, James. Thanks for joining. Appreciate it. James is in San Antonio. So, Stephen, I don't know. I'm not sure where you're from, but thanks for joining. I pretty much know everybody else. Mary Alice in California, Tony in South Texas, Cindy's in Colorado, obviously. James is in San Antonio. So and Ken up there at the very top is from Montana. So it's good to have you here, James. What's Cindy say? I got a piece of mystery wood from Roger Howard that kind of looks like that. He says it's hop horn beam. I think that's what he said. That's right too. Hop horn beam. That sounds familiar. So yeah. It's very nice. It turns very nice. I might try it for a little box. I've got several pieces like this. And so hop horn beam. Thank you, Cindy. Okay, so without further ado, let me take this off and put the chuck on. So it's been a little chilly down here lately. I'm not sure about how you guys are doing in South Texas, Tony, but in James, Central Texas, it's got a little chilly up here. We got 30, 39 or so, which is nice and chilly. But it's perfect in the shop today. It was chilly this morning, probably 45-ish, and now it's just nice and comfortable out here. Chuck, I kind of get off topic, get chatting with you folks a bit too much. So, Stephen Miller, I'm from the UK. Oh, great to have you from across the pond. We had a few people on last week from across the pond. So, are you part of the Woodturning Zoom Club, Stephen? I think I recognize the name from there, but I can't be sure. That's probably where I've seen you, or maybe where you've seen my post. So let's see, where'd that crack go? Right there. So yeah, we'll put it in this way because we will need to work on this end a little bit. It's a little Nova chuck. It's actually threaded for my mini lathe, but I got a little adapter on there, so that helps kind of kick it away from the headstock a little bit. And small jaws work well. Nice close fit on that tenon. I like to try and keep those as close as possible to tight as possible for the best fit of a tenon. That's what I'm trying to say. And I'm looking for, so we'll take this off. So let's show you how these work. So there's a threaded hole in the metal part. It's pretty heavy metal. And then there is a what do you call these things? So basically a headless nut screw. Sorry, and these are threaded in. So we'll take that out because we're going to reuse this one. And a spare handle. Anybody need a spare handle? So let's see. So we've got that. That's got to go. I'm just going to thread it in here just to see and remember kind of, I need to know how deep I need to drill at some point. So that's, if I go 3/4, I'll be good. It'll leave me some air gap room. So that'll be good. 3/4 to an inch, somewhere in there. Now we need to, I want to have this and about that size. So let's get our calipers out. I think it's 2 1/4 is what they are. And we'll measure that. Yeah, about 2 1/4. And I want to make sure, oh, look at that. I'm a little shy there. I'm going to have to turn this around. Yeah, we'll have to use that end. I didn't think I cut that too thin. No worries. We problem solve all the time in the shop, don't we? So. And another good tenon fit. So that works. I'm going to retrue this a little bit, but I don't want to retrue that end too much. So I don't have a lot of room to go to make that fit. A little bit of a rough and gouge. Safety glasses. Yes. Let me get those. Let's see, Tony. Let's say 40 in the morning, 70 now in South, San Antonio. Okay, perfect. Yeah, the nice mornings are nice. The only problem is Shelly likes to turn the furnace on in the morning, and I'm not a huge fan. So I kind of stay out in the shop where it's nice and cool. Oh, that reminds me. We just before this started, well, unfortunately, there was a rabbit on the road, got run over this morning, and so I told Shelly, "So don't worry about it. There'll be a vulture around soon to pick it up." And sure enough, just before we started, turkey vultures out there and picking away at the carcass, and then 2 more showed up. So I was scrambling with my other camera. Let's see, that camera, which is a little Sony RX100. Pulling off the base 20 minutes before we started to take pictures of this thing. So we had one come by last year, but I told her, it's better service than the street sweepers or the garbage men. So turkey vulture is definitely needed in the area. Yeah, great birds, big wings, man, amazing. So you're turning around 16, 17, 1800 RPM. I don't really need to go too much faster. And who would be calling me now? I'll turn that phone upside down. So let's see if that's didn't take a whole lot off there. That's probably pretty close, maybe just a little bit more. I want to leave it a little room for sanding. normally with bottle stoppers, and if we get time, we'll show, we kind of curl the end around and put a recess to stick the bottle stopper in. Yeah, that's going to be good. But on these, since they are going to be hitting, raw meat and stuff, you want to be able to take these off and wash them. You can actually throw them in the dishwasher. So I don't curl this around too much. I leave it nice and flat there. You could bring it in a bit, but I just that was just my design choice, I guess, there. So we're good there. We're going to need to now trim off this flat to make it ride flat against this guy, and then move on. The way I'm pacing here, I'm not sure I'm going to get a whole lot done. I don't know if I'll get to the second project, so let's see. So what's Shelly say? I'm with Shelly. Too cold in the mornings. Yeah. No, I don't mind the cold. I don't know. I guess that's the way I was raised or grown up in Calgary. So we're going to take this off. I'm bumping this camera. And just move that a little bit. See what that. Yeah, that's wiggling. Let me put it that way. I got a nice shoulder here, so I'll use that. So we actually got a sous vide machine, which is a little sort of water temperature bath product for cooking. Let me turn this off before I move this. And so you vacuum seal whatever meat you're going to cook and throw it in this, the pot, and this machine sticks in there like a big thermometer, with a little propeller on it, I guess, to move the water around so you can temperature control your cooking. And so we've been doing that. We've been pounding out chicken breasts, and the other day we had pork tenderloin. So the chicken pounder kind of was timely. So we're going to take this. Whoops! I'm going to tighten down that banjo. See how flat we got. Hopefully I got it in first shot. It's pretty close. Maybe a little bit of scraping out here. Anyway, so the sous vide machine is kind of a lot of fun. I have to go here because I have to move this tailstock camera a little bit. Let's put that up there. Not really going to show anything, so. Just a negative rake scraper skew. That's going to be nice and flat. That's good. So now we're going to put a little dimple in there and do some drilling. Yeah, this is a branch, so, is it going to move on me? Yeah, quite possibly. I don't know. So, but it's, you just got to deal with the material as it comes, right? So I'm trying to remove my tailstock point, live center, and just off camera here doing that. So yeah, it's whether it moves, it's always easy enough to pull it off or separate the parts and make a new handle if need be. So that's not the one. Wrong chuck. There it is. So this is The threads on this little guy are 3/8 by 16. So that's the threading on pretty much all the joiner jig stuff and the bottle stoppers and other kits. So I've got a 5/16 inch bit here. Come on, focus, focus. Why is it not doing that? I think my head got in the way. There we go. So 5/16. Now I'd like to have a smaller bit. And as a matter of fact, I've got what is this, 0.30? It's just under 5/16, which is a little starter bit, and I have this in a handle. I think what I'll do is I'd noticed. I'm just gonna let that sit there. Come on, focus again, really? There we go. I don't know if that's going to help. I don't know why that's going out of focus so much. Wrong one. I'm letting it just kind of sit there to, not really mean to warm up, but didn't mean to sit there that long, but I really want to drill without having any vibration here. So I did a bottle stopper earlier today. And that should be about 3/4. Well, maybe not quite. Let me get this measured before I move everything away. I might want to go a little deeper. This was for a bottle stopper this morning, and didn't have to go quite as deep. Boy, I'm just all over the place this morning. I think that turkey vulture visit just kind of got me going. Oh dear, there we go. Yeah, I backed my tailstock out too far. So, just to revisit what happened there. So, this got pulled out. Let me widen out. This is something that happens sometime. Let me turn that off. So, if you have your tailstock all the way closed, then you're forcing your Morse taper out. That's what I did. I ended up winding too far and taking my Morse taper out. That's why you should always hang on to your chuck as you withdraw it. If that happens, and which it did, all I did is put the tailstock back in and it just stabilized that. So that was my first reaction. If you take it all the way out, if this is flopping around and you take it all the way out, then you got way too much and this is going to fly out. So slam the tailstock back in. A little bit of excitement for the day. So that was fun. So we got our hole drilled there. We can actually put our cone center in there and do a preliminary bit of turning here. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to flip it around right away, put it on the mandrel, because I can use the tailstock point center to, where is it? There it is, to stabilize this other end. So, but yeah, you could, start shaping now and then turn it around. So, gosh, I don't know where. Let's see. Cindy says my shop and office are both well heated. High today at 63. Excellent. Oh, good, Cindy. Keeping warm. I'm glad to hear. What I was saying. So this drill bit is just slightly smaller than 5/16. So I would like to take this out of the handle, mount it in the Jacob's chuck, and drill with something shorter, so it doesn't wander around so much. A long drill bit like this has a lot of wobble to it, and so if you are going to do a lot of these, get a nice short drill bit for the Mandrel sizing. I turned this bottle stopper this morning, little piece of oak, And you can't tell by looking at it. Hard to tell, but when this is mounted on the mandrel, it's wobbly. So I turned this bottom part when it was mounted this way, turn the bottom part, and then turned it around and put it on the mandrel and turn the top part. So you can't really tell it's wobbly, but you can see, I don't know if you can see. It's not quite, if I screw this in all the way, it's not quite centered. I got a small gap here, but no gap there. So there's some techniques and stuff to drilling, especially for these things, that make it important to do. And this is the other thing I was talking about. We make a small recess in the bottom of a bottle stopper to hug around this guy. And I got learned a little trick off of Ruth's site to do that. So we'll show that here shortly. So let's remount this the other way. I'm going to take everything off. Oh, yeah, so this is great turning weather for me anyway. I really enjoy it. It's cool in the shop. I don't have the AC running, don't have the heater running, and I have to get, so here's, if I can reach it. Get that little block. Sorry for the blown out picture. So I got a little box here full of the, other way, full of the kit parts. So we've got, here's our mandrel. Number 2 Morse taper fits in there, 3/16 by, 3/8 by 16. Then here's the joiner jig, the aluminum body, the face plate. I got some other double stick tape in here, and some odds and ends of screws and stuff. So they come with it. It's a great little project. Oops, shoot! I just about dropped that in the garbage. I got a bunch of blanks cut. Let's see. So I was experimenting with the offset jig on that piece. I'm going to do some on this nice piece of flame box elder, and then I got a whole bunch of blanks to play with. So a bunch of cherry. So that's going to be some playtime making pendants and just seeing how this offset jig works. It really is kind of fun, and the nice thing about this kind of little jig is they're small projects, so you can do them quickly and they don't make a whole lot of mess. For me, they're great for this kind of thing. So I'm going to now screw that on there with the help of the tailstock. So if I do a wide shot, let's go a little wider. Oops, wrong way. Oh, didn't really show the hand wheel. Get this camera out of the way for a second. So I've got that on there. I'm going to lock the headstock. So that's locked. So now this won't turn. So I can crank this in and crank this at the same time. This helps get the mounts the block of wood on that mandrel. And I'll go overhead. We'll look down here. So we're getting close to getting that screw on there. Exciting stuff, but wanted just to kind of explain the process that I go through. I could pre-tap this. I've got a 3/8 by 16 tap I used on the bottle stopper, and that would certainly help. I did a handle, I think a mesquite handle the other day, and it does get tough with mesquite. The other one, the other piece of wood I did, I'm not sure what kind of wood it was, but it went on fairly easily. So if your wood is really tough, go to 21/64 for a drill bit. It's 1/64 bigger than 5/16, so that should work. So that's tight on there. We'll retrue again. Get this other camera over here. Oops, tailstock camera. There we go. And then overhead. So we want to leave this dimension alone. We want to skinny this down. I want to leave probably a little bit smaller than that tenon at the head end. And that's going to help for doing this sort of offset end. At least I have a point center I can move in here. So I have something that wide. We'll end up with a point tailstock support center. Oops, lock the spindle. Unlock the spindle. So there we go. If you don't have tailstock support on this mandrel, and I'll put it in now, use a drawbar. So what do we got backing up? I got big moving trucks in the alley. I don't know if you guys can hear the beep, 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 but all kinds of stuff going on. So a drawbar, the end of this mandrel is threaded 1/4x20. And so I've got a 1/4x20 rod and a little cone to center it in the end, a couple of wing nuts, little plastic tubing. That's just to protect the inside of the spindle. That goes through the handle on the headstock and screws into, there we go, into the end of this Morris taper device. So now there's no way that can come out of the headstock even when I pull the tailstock away. A little bit of extra safety there. Invest in a drawbar if you're using mandrel only devices in your headstock. Tony, I just got the jig as well. Fun to play with. Yeah, excellent. They are fun. Okay, so back up to speed. And we'll just waste some wood. Let me go back to that one and that. So what kind of shape you want to have for your handle? It's completely up to you. I put a little sort of, oops, we'll make that safe. I really got to sharpen this gouge. This is going to be a different design. I'm just rushing this way too much. Yeah, there we go. See, I'm catching that edge. I got to sharpen this gouge too. I think that's part of the problem. Been using it for a week straight, haven't sharpened it. So we'll look at our model. And we're going to put a couple little lumps in here. Let's see, probably move those up. That actually feels pretty good. So I'm looking for a hand grip to see how it feels in the hand. And that feels pretty good, actually, that middle bump right there. So I think I might leave that and make this one slightly different. This one's got a couple of lumps for your finger to grip around. My hand, kind of like that. So, but this one actually, accidentally feels like it's fitting right between those fingers. So we'll leave that. We'll go to a smaller gouge. And we're obviously going to make a design change down at the end here. So let's make a distinct design change. Let's kind of curl that in. Maybe make a nice little cove in here so it's beaded over. And then we'll see. Actually, no, that's not going to work. That's going to be too, it's too thick right there anyway. I'm just seeing how fat this guy is. And he is roughly about an inch in diameter. So that's where I want to go with this guy. I'll leave that right there, a reference. Just calming down a little bit so I'm not so frantic. Kind of seeing what feels good. We'll move this point down a little bit. That's feeling pretty good. Right between my knuckles. Okay. Now what to do with this guy here. It's feeling pretty good. I like the little bit of sapwood around the perimeter, so I'm trying to leave that. I meant to leave that a lot bigger, obviously, but stuff happens. Oh, I got a nice, that's pith right through there. So that we'll just leave that and see how it works with the final design. Not sure I want to do it. I think I'm just going to smooth that out. I don't leave any detail there. Just doesn't work. Let's see if we can't get a skew on there. A little bit of sanding. Oh, it's just a very different day than last Friday, but it's working out all right. We'll get there. We got some sort of tool mark right there. I may have to go back and get. And drop down to 120. There we go. The 120 tool, that works. So just a quick little sanding. I'm not going to go too crazy. That's up to 240. We'll go one more. Okay, the fun part is coming up because we are going to throw this on the offset jig and turn a little bit off center. Okay, so now, yeah, we pull this off. And this, there may be better ways of doing this than what I'm doing, but oh boy. Oh yeah. A little bit of wax, I think, will help next time I'm out there. Oh, I'm coming a little off the wrong side. I guess I should have maybe left it between centers a bit, but that works. So now we've got to get this guy down in there, and we want to put him that way so that we can tighten that up. And just for giggles, a little bit of hard wax in there just to make it a little bit easier. And Allen wrench. That's ready to go. Now we get this guy. Mount this guy on center. Got this locked. Excuse me. This is where I really should I've got crud in my threads. This is where the drawbar really helps, because you can't take that thing out because it's got a threaded rod holding it in. And behind my green screen is my toolbox where all my wire brushes are. So I can't really get to wire brush right now. So this old divider point will suffice. So I'm sure there's people that have better ways of doing this. If you got them, please throw them in the chat. I haven't turned one of these for a bottle stopper type thing for a good 5 years, maybe more. But I want to shout out to Ruth a little bit for the jig and the extra thing. Now we've got, let's see, on this thing we've got all these holes that we can choose from to offset. I've used, I think, 3 in the past, so number 3 is right there. So this goes into number 3. And now we've got this offset. So that's what we're going to turn the end of this thing with. And this is where I like to, sorry about the bounce, let me go to that for a second. Change out my live center, the big one, for this little mini one that I have. That's actually going to be in the way. So we need to get rid of this little nubbin before we can get this live center point attached. So we have to do just a little bit of fine cutting without support, just to get our tailstock support up there. So speed all the way down. Let's see how this thing, that's the way it's going to go. We'll put that up. Come back over here. Zoom in. Okay, we got a comment here. What's Tony say? If you put just a little bit of WD-40 in the hole before you thread it, it makes removal a lot easier. Yeah, WD-40. I just put a little carnauba wax on there to get that that thread into this guy. So yeah, something like that would definitely work. And I'm going to change that for a second. So I'm going to move this over here. We'll get that view. And we'll get that view. I don't know. That might make you guys sick. We'll see. It gets to be a blur once it goes faster. So now I'm just out here very, very gingerly going to remove that little nubbin. A little bit of speed. I can see the ghost of it. Become a little bit high. Why am I bothering to do that? So that I can get my center point there. So just a little bit more. Close enough. Oops, tighten that up. That's why we had to leave this just a bit wide so that we have room for a center point. So now we're going to sweep this off and turn it sort of offset. Point this in too much. We got that. We can turn up the speed and spindle gouge. Just start knocking off that ghost of a corner. Let me put this down here. You guys can help see that ghost. So that's what we're turning off, is this corner here. Well, that's just a pain. Move the tailstock in closer, or the tool rest, sorry. Okay, that looks a little too steep for me. I want them a little flatter, so I'll cut in a bit quicker. But that's kind of the shape we're looking for. See how that looks and feels. That's about right. Right there, you can kind of see how the thumb kind of grips on top of that. That's kind of what I'm looking for. So we've met all the way around. Got this crack that's going to, be there, but we'll just deal with it. So it's a pretty clean cut. I'll do one more final pass. I got a little ridge right there, and we'll part that little piece off. That'll sand nicely. I'll stop the lathe and kind of get that point sanded off. This is, I think, 120 right now, and we'll move up to 320. And I won't sand these edges until we get to about 320. Otherwise, they round over too easily. So a lot of this is really hand sanding is perfect for this because it's If you power sand too much, you'll end up rounding things over. If you're going to power sand, just kind of do sort of feathered edge. Oops. You get sucked in if a little bit like that, so be careful. And I should widen out a little bit. There we go. So we got the pith right there. And let's see. I can just move this closer. Right there. And it kind of comes through there, and it looks like it goes right down into there. So we'll see how well this lasts. You know, it is wood that's been sitting in my shop for at least a year and a half, 2 years maybe, but in log form, so there's always some leftover moisture. And then at 240, let me grab 320 quickly here. And I'll just kind of hit those sharp edges just to soften them a little bit. Yeah, that feels good. Not gonna hurt anybody. There we go. Let's call that done. See how it looks on the tamper. Bit of a design change due to poor control in my roughing gouge, but yeah, that looks all right. That's, let me see if that shows the whole thing. Yeah, kind of does. So that's it. You kind of gotta. So that's the tamper. Hopefully I made that handle. It's actually a little bit taller, a little bit skinnier than the other one. So I may have to do a fourth one. We'll see. Pretty cool, Todd. I'm going to see a demo of the Offset Jig. So yeah, I haven't done a demo before of it, but you know, that's kind of just the very beginnings of what I've done with it. You know, making a few kits and stuff. Here, I wanted to show. I don't think we'll have time to turn a bottle stopper, but I did want to show this handy little thing that I read off of Ruth's site. So go to Niles Bottle Stoppers, get your bottle stopper kits and stuff like that. But on there in the instructions, somebody had posted using this little jig. So when you got this mounted in your headstock, and let's see a better picture. So pretend this is a chuck. You've got this chucked up, and you're trying to make this recess that's the perfect size of your bottle stopper. Turn a little piece of wood with a slight dimple on it. So you can see that dimple. You make a little dimple in there, and then you push that in there, and it burns a line of your circumference. So that's what this burn mark is. It's just hit the dimple, and then I just took my parting tool or whatever scraper tool and cut that recess. So that worked fairly well. Handy little tip and jig for doing bottle stoppers. So because you do want to try and wrap that lip of the bottle stopper a little bit. And I don't know if it's going to show here. It's hard to see, but this is offset just a little bit unintentionally. But nice little piece of oak. I got a lot of little scraps of oak around. I love turning oak. I just like the little ray fleck patterns in it and stuff, and the character and the grain. So there's a nice close up of that guy. So simple little scrap I had. Oh my gosh, that was a Sorry, blowing the chips off the computer. That was a lot of fun. Joaquin, thank you for joining. I appreciate it. Saw that comment. Thanks for stopping in. Let's see. So these things are every afternoon. Sorry, not every afternoon. Every Friday afternoon at 2:30. We'll do a small project series. Next week, I'm not sure again what I'm going to turn, but we may start with a bottle stopper because I didn't quite get to it today, and then do something. Maybe that'll take up the whole time. I don't know. So, and then I've got ideas for other ones. But if you have any ideas for small projects you want me to do, let me know. And I think maybe in the new year, I will start a series of workshop or wood turning jigs and tips. So, I've got some sanding jigs. We can make thread some face plates for sanding platens or for face plating. We can make a stick for drum sanding. All kinds of different sort of jigs. I got the way I hang my tools on the wall. So we could talk about that kind of stuff. You got those kind of things, shoot those over to me as well, an email or text or on Messenger or something like that, and I'll stockpile them for the new year. So, but that's all I got for today. So it wasn't a great demo. Stuff happens in the shop. I think I'm still thinking of that vulture outside. So we'll see if he's got the whole carcass gone. But come back next Friday. And we'll see you then. In the meantime, if you have any questions or comments, do so. Leave them down below, before, during, or after the demo. So we will see. Cindy, thanks for stopping in. I appreciate it. I think I'll go sharpen my roughing gouge now. Stephen, thanks. I enjoyed the demo. Jid looks good and quite simple to use. It is. Take a look at Niall's bottle stoppers for the jig and the parts. It's really not that expensive. Might be different in the UK, although I think she has a UK distributor. I'm not sure. I know she sells over there. But there is so much to do with this jig in terms of learning how to use it. There's actually a spreadsheet up on her website that has a lot of great functionality, how to learn the offsets and what it's going to do. And that spreadsheet was actually created by a local guy here. Geez, I know his name now. It's drawn a blank. I'll think of it. But anyway, take a look at that, and have fun with the jig. So I had to Ruth, and come back and visit next Friday, 2:30. Okay, thanks all. I'll leave it there. We'll talk to you soon. Oh, one last thing. Check out Cindy's demo tomorrow. She's demoing tomorrow, I think at noon Central Time. So my wife and I always join. So if we don't see you next Friday, hopefully we see you tomorrow. Mary Alice, I'm sure we'll see you there, and others as well. So take care. We'll see you next week. Bye for now. Let me put that up as I'm leaving. Okay, I'm leaving now. Click the button, Todd. There we go.